So today's job is we need to attach these like this. So again, we need to drill and tap holes. I had hoped to reuse the jig, but actually what I want is for the jig would end up with like a stepped joint like this. What I actually want is it for this edge to be flush with the front, so it's nice and neat. So we'll have to come up with a better idea. First thing I need to do though is cut these down short. So I'll just I decided to 3D print a new jig on my Ender 3. This is printed in PETG. Okay, so what I've done is 3D print a new jig, and what that does, what the main difference is that it allows this edge to overhang the vertical edge here by 1mm, which is the thickness of the material, so that it will basically cover the top of the intersecting part. So it just should make it a bit neater. I've sort of had some lessons learnt from making the previous jig, so I've made it quite a bit smaller. I only need one end because I'm only drilling one end of each of these parts. And I've also made it a bit narrower this way so it will actually fit in my machine vise. So that just makes holding it in the milling machine a lot easier. You can see we've got a nice overlap now. Hopefully that shows up. Okay, so that's the bodywork for the first Ellie mocked up. You can see that the base plate's a bit warped there, so I'll need to sort that out. But there is I do need to put some brackets here and here, so that might pull it all together nicely. And you can see that the pipe just overhangs the front very slightly. It's just quite a tight curve really. It's quite difficult to get that in. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the results there. It's starting to look like a tram finally. I think if I can, I'll put some sort of handrails on the doorway. I think that will just add a bit of interest to the sides, because the sides are quite plain. But yeah, definitely a good step forward. So one problem I did have was that with the shortened screws, they're quite difficult to actually get started, because obviously I've just cut them off with a hacksaw in situ and then filed the ends, so actually the ends aren't particularly well rounded or anything. So the thing that I actually came up with was to put a longer bolt backwards through the socket, and then put this one next to it, and then once it was in position, I could apply a bit of pressure to the back of the screw to push it in, and then I could turn the socket to provide the rotation, and eventually the screw would start. So I'll just pop that in just so you've got a better idea of what I mean. So that would be in backwards. The screw would go in like that. You can see the bolt protrudes through. So if I just push that, I can then push the bolt and provide some momentum, and then turn it at the same time. Hope that's clear. But that yeah, that made starting the bolts much easier. I hope you found that interesting. Like, share, subscribe, and please leave a comment. It's always interesting to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.